So here we are, Ciara.
Here we are.
Oh, Ciara, it's actually really good to chat to you.
I wish I could say the same thing.
You're always quick-witted.
Well, when you grow up in a family like I am with so many brothers and they're definitely stronger than you, then you have to use the gift of the gab.
You have a stronger tongue.
Yeah.
But anyway, where are you at the moment? Because it looks very quaint.
It's actually my kitchen. I have a little chair in the corner of my kitchen, and yeah,
It's nice. It's the wee the wooden bit in the walls.
so it's got like a paneling around the wall, and then this is a chair that I picked up from a skip because someone was throwing it out.
Can I see the chair? I know it sounds really daft, but do you want to just oh, that sounds...
Yeah. You can put my dressing gown, keeping me cozy. Pillow. And a wee chair, and then a wee lamp there that I made, just like stripped it back and spray painted it, we upcycled.
Oh, nice. Because you're quite the creative.
Well, one tries.
So you're a photographer. Want to tell us a bit about that?
So I just want to kind of brand myself as a visual storyteller, because you know what, if I could write, I would write, but I'm absolutely rubbish at writing.
Can we just do a wee... I literally have it here.
What? Is that my book that you have?
I'm literally... Have we got it here? Photography. Can I get it? Photography by Ciara.
Me and Beth co-wrote the book together, yes. The courier up for sale, which you can buy from my website instead of buying from Amazon. So apparently Amazon are not selling books now for a month because they're deemed as non-essential. I heard that on the wind. It could be one of those things like when your friend's mum's auntie's cat's daughter tells you something about the coronavirus and then it's done.
Right. You've brought up two major issues for me at the moment, right? One, I want new books, so Amazon getting rid of their book sales, not a good thing. Two, all these lovely people made in the image of God who are pretty daft, though, going around spreading misinformation all over social media. So my auntie texted my mum at 4:30 in the morning. Like, why it was 4:30 in the morning, I don't know. She texted my mum and she said, now apparently, when you walk into a room, the virus is there for up to 3 hours. And it's not airborne. It's not even airborne. This is the most... I was like, this is the most common known thing about this virus, that it's not airborne. And we literally had a conversation yesterday about how it's not airborne. Like, you said it. And yet
classic aunties chat.
Oh, it does my head in. And actually, I saw this Instagram post. It was hilarious. It was experts in the 1980s, scientists. Experts in the 1990s, politicians. Experts in 2000s, it was celebrities. Experts in 2010s, 2020s, Karen on Facebook.
True. 100% accurate.
So true. And there's so many Karens. Just so many Karens.
We all know a Karen and a Janet. There's always a Muriel back there as well. She always has a few things to say.
It's always... And a Lawrence. There's a Lawrence, which is not quite the same as a Karen. A Karen is someone who hears information and kind of gossips about it, whereas a Lawrence is someone who copies and pastes those annoying copy and paste posts. Mostly because I know of someone who might have a similar name to Lawrence who does that a lot.
My challenge to you though, Sam, is have you already read every book that's in your house?
Every book? No, I haven't.
Why are you
buying swatch at the bookcase?
Yeah.
Actually, let's chat about that.
Yeah.
So, obviously, to get serious a bit, obviously, this whole thing is severely impacting you, isn't it?
Yes, it is. I basically, in the space of 3 days, lost all of my work for 6 months. So it's
crazy.
Yeah, and I've just been coming out of a really long period of being prolongedly ill, and so because I work for myself, I don't get sick pay. So it was kind of quite a bad situation that's kind of got worse.
Yeah, which is the real reality of it, like.
Yeah. It is a reality, and it's like, how do we? And there's lots of people in my situation. I think, obviously I'm biased. I do think freelancers on the whole probably have it a little bit harder because there's no safety net yet. For people. And because we have very few safety nets as it is, and they're working so, and I can understand why people aren't booking stuff in and doing things like that.
Yeah, and there might be safety nets coming apparently.
I mean, when you've lived a freelance life, you take everything a little bit of pinch of salt, but we'll see.
True,
but,
that's true.
Yeah, but I think I have this kind of weird, I was saying this to my friends, the other day, like a weird peace and hope about it, and I just think, we do have to trust that God is the God with the cattle on 1,000 hill, and whatever that looks like, and whether that's like your pal who's usually paying for a bus pass says they're going to give you a £5 a month because, that's some money that they've got that they don't have, or I don't know, I don't have a solution, but I think, I do feel weirdly peaceful about it.
Yeah.
Today, tomorrow might be different. Okay. Sometimes in these times we have to feel like we have to wash Christendom, everything. Like, it's totally amazing because the peace of the Holy Spirit's with me, which is true. But also, it's okay if you have a rage about it, and that's fine. If you feel raging tomorrow and you feel fine today,
totally fine. What is starting to get to me a bit, and I'm starting to kind of feel almost a bit concerned about, is this romanticising of this period of time of and the people will read their books and they will listen to the birds singing like Snow White, and do you know, it's like, that is true, but 430 plus people have died in this country that would not have died otherwise, as far as we know. And actually there's a real reality to that, and that's just the nitty gritty of having a relationship with Jesus, is that he's the victorious king, but he's also the one who has a hole in his side and scars in his arm, and do you know what I mean, like he lives in the Godhead with his scars. We went really deep. We've gone really deep.
Why have surface chat when you can go deep? But one of the things that I absolutely love about Jesus, and something that I've always really loved about that point you're saying, Sam, is when Jesus comes back to the disciples and they totally don't believe it's him and they absolutely wet themselves in the upper room, which I love because it's ridiculously human. I have a slight fear, this is slightly connected, that if I ever met an angel, not sure what I think about angels, but if I ever did, that I would punch it, because I'd be like, fight or flight, I'm going to punch it. So I understand where the disciples are coming from.
That's very consistent with your character.
Sure.
Punch it, spark out. I would just react. I wouldn't think. I would just react.
Safety first, guys. But I think that thing when he comes back, and I love that Jesus is in a new body and they don't recognize him, but he still has the scars. And I think there's something of it, he could easily not have had the scars, but actually did. And I think that's something really beautiful about even our own stories of pain and suffering and things, is the scars are still part of who we are, part of our story, and a marker of I don't know, marker of character, I suppose.
Because it validates the pain. It validates the pain and the victory. And so how do you, you're an actually creative person in some ways, and when I say creative, I mean artistically creative. I think
because we're all creative, because we're all made.
We're all creative.
Not all artists.
You what?
I said it's true. We are all creative, but we're not all artistic. Yeah.
We're not all artistic. No, not at all. But how can people use creativity and artistic expression to kind of navigate through the painful reality of this time? How might you suggest?
Good question. I mean, how long do we have, Samuel?
Not long, because I've got a free Zoom account. So
okay, I did look up. Do I pay for the plan this morning? I thought, on an unemployed salary. No, I'm not going to pay the plan. No. I'm trying to think. Well, so I suppose it's different for everyone because everyone has different things. So, I think the other myth that people have around arty people is they assume they can do all art forms. So, I was find interesting. I'm rubbish at drawing, pants at drawing, primary school level looking at drawing.
I can't stick men. Ciara, I can't just stick men.
I mean, it's okay. We've all got different gifts. So, some people might express themselves to drawing and that kind of thing. I just get stressed out because I'm really worried that it looks so rubbish. But one thing I've started doing this week as a kind of creative way to kind of interpret maybe what's happening and to pray for stuff. And also because there's so many prayer points for different people and it can be a bit overwhelming, is I have like a little conservatory bit in my flat. And so I've started to write on the windows. So either like drawing a symbol or writing words with a chalk pen as like making a little pop-up prayer room. So the idea is like when I have something, I can write it up and either I can come back to pray for it again, but in my head it's a bit like I've kind of almost said it or placed it in God's hand to be like, I trust you with that. Because doing something physical can be really helpful, which is people like in prayer rooms, you know, you put like a rock somewhere, you move something. Because it can feel overwhelming just now. And so how do we put something that symbolizes like I'm trusting you with this, that neighbour that's asked me to pray for, my neighbour who has never spoken to me about Jesus before but asked me if I'd pray for that person, or whatever it is that you have.
I think that's really important, is that thing of like create, like you've kind of said it right saying it, is that when you creatively express something, you're embodying the reality of it. Like you're not ignoring it. See, in a way, like we could talk about being, like I could talk about being anxious about this time without actually entering into my anxiety. I can talk about it really objectively, whereas when I'm expressively, when I'm like creating something to express it, there's something about that I just embody, like I have to embody all of that. So for example, for me, that might be something like writing a character monologue, or that might be writing a spoken word piece that might be speaking about the concept of anxiety and being still before God. And there's something when you're creating, you're having to mill those thoughts and those inner processes around. Do you know what I mean?
It is, and it's about like, you know, you've got to choose to sit and set up camp with it, even though you don't necessarily want to, and that can be uncomfortable. But actually, we are really good, I think, particularly in Western society, probably particularly in Britain, particularly in Scotland, as stubborn people who like to stuff down those emotions, because it's really easy to have a stiff upper lip and, you know, carry on. And I get that because I'm also that kind of person to an extent. But actually, we miss what God wants to say to us and pay what it is to just dwell and sit in that. And that's not saying we sit a pity party for you know, whatever amount of time we need. But also, if we don't choose to mourn and we don't choose to lament, we're actually missing something as well. To the fear of God and what He might be calling us. And also, like, if you don't have words, that's also okay. I think sometimes we have to come with, I don't know, whatever. I think actually, if we turn up to the presence of God, like, great, that's what you can just
and I think that's the other thing about explicitly artistic expression, is that, like what you say, like you find it difficult to write in like large chunks, and photography is your expression. Photography is your words. They are your words. They are your communication. And like I remember one day, I've got like wee mini canvases. I mean, I'm not very good at, like I say, I'm not very good at painting. I'm below average. I'm not even anywhere near average. But like one day, I was just feeling a bit hopeless about things. I had black paint. I literally just painted the whole canvas black.
Great.
And I was just like, I was just feeling, that's just the way I was feeling inside. But then right in the middle, I put a wee dot of white.
Yeah.
Because I was like, not necessarily because I'm feeling that, because I want to remember that right at the heart of my darkness, Jesus, the light of the world, has entered into that. Do you know what I mean? And there was I couldn't have put those into words straight away. But then like when I painted that, it almost gave me the words. Do you know what I mean? It was strange.
They have a framework for you to then have dialogue from.
Yeah, exactly.
Actually, doing it as a process, you're processing.
Sorry, Ciara, I talked over you.
You're saying as doing it, you're processing. And so I think that's a massive part. Plus, if it's absolutely pants, who's going to see it? You're in social isolation.
Well, exactly. And people, this is what puts me off. So actually, I really want to get into photography. This is what puts me off photography. Is I'm like, that's just going to be crap.
Well, I'm doing evening classes, Sam. Also, if you do courses that you could maybe sign up for. So
interesting. Please send me the brochure. Not in paper form. I don't want any germs spread. I'm washing my hands every 2 minutes. We actually do have like five packs, not 5 packs, like 5 bottles of antibac.
I mean, I'm self-isolating by myself, so it's just me, myself, and I.
Yourself. I'm not going to wash all week.
Yeah.
Can I also say we have not stockpiled deliberately on the old antibac? It was the good old
Christian guilt.
No, it was well, yeah, exactly. It was the good old alarmist auntie who brought us around like 3 bottles in the past 4 days, just to keep us stocked up. It's like, thanks, but I'm sure there's other people who need this. But thank you.
What else are you doing? Like, so what do you like to do that feels your kind of creative expression? So you said a little bit of like British word. I wish I could do spoken word. I think it's so cool, but
I think you could do spoken word, you know, because actually you have got such a way with words. And
I mean, that's one way to put my particular way of speaking, Sam. It's very kind of you.
But you do though, and it's not even just the way, it's not even just the words you use, it's how you use them, and it's how you put them together. And actually, I think there's something quite poetic about the Glaswegian vernacular, I think, and about the West of Scotland vernacular, that like some people won't like this, but like Billy Connolly talks about how Glaswegian swearing is really poetic.
Yes.
And how it just so sometimes they're vague words, just as themselves. These swear words are vague words, but in the way that Glaswegians use them, with their tone, with their intonation, they paint a picture in the mind of what the person's trying to express. Yeah. And now I'm really not condoning swearing at all by saying that, but it proves the point, or it's an example that there's something about actually we can use words that will just paint pictures in people's minds. And I think for me, that's what it does. I don't think verbally, I think very image based, like, and then it's almost like the way I express that. I can't draw, like yourself can't paint, but the way I express it and interpret those thoughts and those pictures in my mind are with words. And so I'm trying then to paint the picture that's in my mind.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I get that.
Which is quite difficult.
Scottish people in general is that I think in Scotland you can use any word as an insult. Like, dirty spoon. Who could argue the ox cube? Do you know what I mean? Literally any word you could use. Well, a radiator that one, isn't it?
Well, I think we're possibly the only dialect in the world that takes 2 positive words and makes them totally sarcastic and negative. Aye, right.
Yeah. Posh English people sometimes use words like that are opposite, like disgustingly delicious. Awfully delightful. How can it be awful and delightful?
Oh, it's awfully delightful, darling.
Delicious.
Delicious. Delicious.
And you literally said delicious like that. It's not like a make up. I literally
They actually do it. It's quite funny. So, do you want to give me 2 top tips on self-isolation?
Don't do it alone. Tip number 1.
But still have times alone, because I'm ready for killing the little sister. I'm not going to lie. No one needs to call the police. She's not in any imminent danger. However, she is doing my boxing.
Understandable. I mean, siblings, what can we say?
Yeah.
I think with self-isolation, my biggest thing that I've been really frustrated with is I'm like, I want to be like the volunteer of the NHS. I'm happy to drive an Asda van. I'll do everything. But with my current health stuff, I can't do that. And actually, I am more helpful to the NHS just now not doing that, because I could then depress, which I find so frustrating because I'm such a doer and I hate just like, I mean, I've got loads of stuff to get on with, and work stuff to do, but it's, So I was kind of thinking, like, what do I have at my disposal? And what can I do that could be helpful to other people? So I've been sending out, depending on your Christian inkling or sway, either prophetic postcards or positivity postcards.
Ecumenical.
Yeah, exactly. So I've just been, I've been sending to my calf family, so it's fine. Um, so I basically just been praying for people and just asking God what does He want to say to them, not just in the coronavirus pandemic, but in general. Because actually, who doesn't love a little bit of a nice post? So I've been doing that, which has been something that has been quite disciplined to do. And also the other thing is like, is there something that you could convert? Because one of my favorite things as kids was dens. I love a temporary space, like a den.
Yeah.
Making something into something else for a period of time, not for forever. So I really enjoyed making my prayer space in the conservatory, or I'm doing the Taskmaster challenge. Have you seen this?
Right, now I've not actually seen it, but I have heard of it.
So my plan for later today is, if I'm still within the time frame, so today, this 30-hour challenge is make your bathroom into a place that you want to go out to, like in like, I think like a night, like not quite a nightclub, that kind of thing. Right. So I thought, like, let's bring an element of fun. Just because there's no one else to have fun with doesn't mean I can't create my own fun. So I suppose my two things are, what have you got that you can give to other people, even if you're self-isolating? How can you create your own fun?
Nice.
So
smashing.
They're my two.
Ciara, I'm going to need to go, but that's phenomenal.
Well, I could say it's been a pleasure, but that would be lying. So
You're pulled me with me. See you later.